Hi. So, it's kind of been a while since the last time I actually posted a real video on this channel that wasn't actually a short. What's the reason? Well, other than just like having no ideas and kind of being sick for a while. No, not that kind of sick. And no, not that kind of sick either. Just in general kind of sick. I kind of lost track of time. But while I was laying in my bed and feeling like death for quite a long time, I started thinking about what? Well, these animes that are going to be coming out in the next few seasons. And yeah, I know, if you already follow your favorite creators, they've already posted out their list of what you need to watch these next few upcoming seasons. I mean, that's standard when it comes to people like Giga. And to be honest, these heavy hitters like Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho, Spy Family, these are gonna be fucking tearing up the charts regardless. Doesn't matter what I say, doesn't matter what any YouTuber's gonna say. That's just gonna be the matter of fact. These shows have so much hype behind them, the only thing that can tear that down is if they end up being terrible. But with the studios behind them, I doubt that's a possibility. But what I wanted to talk about were the shows that were going to be overlooked because of those, looming giants in My Hero Academia. Like, did you know that while this fall 2020 season has those shows, it also has the second season of Pop Team Epic? Yeah, kind of weird, right? And I haven't heard anyone talk about it, to be honest. So without further ado, hi, I'm Bayfund, and we're going to be talking about some shows that I think are going to be overlooked in these next upcoming anime seasons. I've already brought up Pop Team Epic. If you don't know what that is, that's like an animated skit show that's based off of this like comic strip that is just like random parodies and ideas that come up every once in a while. And while Pop Team Epic's first season was coming out back in 2018, there were definitely some shorts that I actually thought were hilarious, and some that were very, 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 very stupid. Yeah, Pop Team Epic is a heavily mixed bag. You're gonna find people that absolutely love the show, and you're gonna find people that will hate it and never want to see it again. Their parody work is fantastic sometimes, and it goes from anything to being like a deep-rooted otaku-centric joke that only a few people would get, to being more broad, like in the parody of Your Name that it did. And then there's the dumb jokes. I would say they fall more in line with a 3-year-old's idea of a potty joke, where they feel smug about it for like 30 minutes, and then they forget about it for the rest of their lives. Yeah, it does go that bad, but the highs are pretty good. And I like the idea of having a voice cast that's ever-changing each episode. It's pretty fun, and, well, I might catch a few episodes here and there when it starts airing again. Now, a show that I think could be a big contender is one that I have seen be talked about a little bit, but not as much as it deserves to. And that's gonna be Shadow Garden. Or I would prefer to call it Eminence of Shadow, because that's how the manga's called. And hopefully it's gonna be your next hit isekai. Well, you know how isekais are. There's probably gonna be a dozen of them that come out that season too, that I'm not gonna talk about, because this is the only one that I care about. But this is the only one that actually deserves your attention. So if you can only limit yourself to one, here you go. So if I were to tell you that this show is about a pretty generic power fantasy MC, well, that would actually be a lie. Yeah, not about the power fantasy bit, that's 100% true. But this story is 100% a comedy. It does not take itself seriously at all. This guy's no Kirito or something like that. If anything, he's a wannabe Kirito. He's if Kirito had negative IQ points, but still turned out to win almost every battle. I mean, this thing is fantastic. I've been reading the manga for years, and it's kept me entertained for every single chapter. In fact, to the point where it's actually almost made me read the light novel, but light novels are an endeavor of their own. The world is a lot more rich than you would expect in an isekai, and it branches out in ways that you wouldn't expect to, but it's a pretty subversive take on the genre, and I am absolutely sure that anyone who watches this is gonna love it. It's phenomenal. And then we can also move on to a movie that's also gonna be coming out in the fall too. The new Makoto Shinkai film. You know, he's the guy that made all of these. I already mentioned Your Name in this video, so I mean, it was inevitable. It's called Suzume no Tojimari. It's about a girl indoors. That's about all I know. But if you've seen or heard about Makoto Shinkai films, you know how beautiful they are. Each frame of one of his movies is absolutely beautiful. You can take Garden of Words or Your Name and put them side by side by each other, and you really wouldn't be able to tell that they were made years apart. His art is, in my opinion, kind of like timeless. Sure, it's not without its faults. I would say sometimes the story is going to be a little bit lacking, but just on the visual aspect, you should be looking forward for this film when it comes out, because it's probably going to be one of the best looking things coming out this year. 2022 over. Winter 2023. Oh, you know, the start of a new year. That scares me. What are we going to be getting that most people are going to be on the hype train about? Easy. Vinland Saga and Nagatoro Season 2. But when you guys are looking at that, I'm looking at Tomochan wa Ononoko. Or, well, Tomochan is a girl. This was a daily 4-panel manga that is now being turned into an anime. If we're being real for a second, a lot of really good romance manga are being turned to anime recently, and I'm on board for however long this is going to last for. So, yes, this is a romance anime, which means that I am completely partial towards it. Our main girl is what? Well, she's a tomboy. I can already hear the crowds roaring with excitement on that. And in my opinion, I think it's a pretty wholesome show altogether. I love the side characters in it, and it was a fantastic read. The manga by itself, it can probably take you less than a few days because, well, since the chapters are only 1 page, it's pretty easy to get through quite a lot of them. It doesn't help that there's probably like 600 of them. Which means that this is going to be more than enough to make a pretty good anime. And also on that list of anime adaptations of romance mangas, further down the line, there's also going to be Kubo-san Doesn't Let Me Be, and my personal favorite, The Dangers in My Heart. Really, this is probably the show that made me want to make this entire video. Right now slated for a in general 2023 release date, this show is gonna absolutely warm my heart. The manga is right now one of my all-time favorite romances. It develops pretty differently than other romance mangas, and the MC by himself is very relatable in his own right as well, especially if you were that edgy kid back in like middle school. This story is going to harken back to like those days. It's a fantastic story that I've been keeping up since chapter 1 of its translation, and I'm glad that that artistic style looks to be transferring over onto the anime. I mean, they look pretty similar, or as similar as you can get. There's also some upgrades where you can obviously see that. But this is probably my most anticipated romance series of all of 2023. Yeah, I won't say series because, well, Attack on Titan is also ending that season 2. Honorable mention here would also be the series Uzumaki. Yeah, Uzumaki. Uzu-fucking-maki. Yeah, Uzumaki's been in development hell for quite a while. I'm probably going to release a video on that soon. It's been in the works. Brilliant and sinister in every aspect. We just don't know how long it's going to be until that one comes out. But yeah, that's just a few of my selections of anime that you should be looking forward to in the future. There's 100% more that you can make an argument for watching too. It's just a matter of when we get there because they don't have too much hype behind them. Once the shows start airing, there's going to be some hidden gems that are obviously going to show up. I mean, no one was talking about Odd Taxi until the first episode aired. That's just how it's going to be. Some are just going to be hidden until we watch them. And so I will say peace. See you guys next time, hopefully in a relatively shorter time span.